Before we jump in, a quick reminder for everyone to subscribe to the channel and tap that like button if you're enjoying the content. And have you ever wondered what it would really feel like to wake up one morning with the memories, possibly even the regrets of 9 completely different people swirling around in your head? For Ezri Dax on Deep Space Nine, this wasn't just a weird dream, it became her reality. Um, when Nicole DeBoer stepped in to play Ezri Dax, she brought something fresh to the role that fans hadn't quite seen before, that joined Trill grappling with the messy personal consequences of inheriting a legacy she'd never meant to carry. It's not fairly corresponding to start, in fact, before the introduction of Ezri, Jadzia Dax, played by Terry Farrell, was every bit the heart of the station, a confidant, a friend, even a Klingon at heart when romance was involved. And in fact, that Jadzia's sudden and violent departure from the show left questions that lingered like a Vulcan. At an open mic night, then came Ezri. Unlike Jadzia and her confidence, Ezri was a counselor by trade, tuned into every emotional ripple around her, but also deeply affected by her own psychological tsunami. She made it clear there's more to being a joined Trill than just gaining wisdom and epic dinner party anecdotes. There's also confusion and a genuine sense that your old identity might be gone for good. Original Carbon's, the series peeled back Ezri's story in a way that it never quite did for Jadzia. While viewers knew the name Jadzia, her family, and her life on Trill before the Dax symbiont were always kept in the shadows. With Ezri, it was different from the start. Suddenly, she had a last name Tigan, a family, a background you could actually see on screen. Her joining was an accident born of urgency, not ambition. And she didn't so much volunteer as get thrown onto the operating table. And as she put it herself, she woke up expecting to feel normal and instead discovered an entire committee in her head. Ezri's struggle showed the reality of losing your sense of self, or at least having it rewritten when you least expect it. It's a fascinating angle considering that the series with Jadzia was always more interested in the Dax symbiont's long list of adventurous past lives than what made Jadzia Dax. And, well, Jadzia, and looking back, Jadzia's early days on the show were all about exploring Dax's previous hosts. It seemed like most of her connections, even her quirky sense of humor, traced directly back to one Trill or another. When she was briefly separated from the Dax symbiont, you could see just how much of her personality had merged with those ancient memories. But as the series went on, Jadzia became more layered, steadily growing into herself. Still, the mystery of her own unjoined origin story never quite resolved. So with Ezri, Deep Space Nine finally tackled the idea that there's a real person in there, someone with fears, family drama, and more than enough reason with overwhelmed. It took a brand new host to show just how disruptive and how human the Trill joining process could be.
you know, if I ever woke up with 8 other people's memories, my first move would probably be to argue with myself over copy orders. Um, at least with one lifetime, I only forget where I put my keys. Um, so, you know, I get my time of making my keys right. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.